Hi, it's Kelsey with Shipwreck Beads, and today we're going to make some crystal embellished tassels. It is Friday! Yay! And it is the Friday before Halloween, so there's some Halloween activities going on this weekend. I don't specifically have any plans that I know of, but I know my daughter's night tonight is super packed. She's got a fall fling little Halloween party at her school, and let's see, then we're going to go see my dad for dinner because he's in town, so that's pretty exciting. He lives across the state from us, so I don't get to see him too often. And we're going to have a little pool party at his hotel, so that's exciting. But today in our video, we are going to make some crystal tassels. So I think I showed you at the end of Friday's video. Hi, Carla. I have this little tassel on my necklace here, and so we're going to make a tassel just like that, because I really like it and I think it's a fun little project. So a little bit about this necklace. The charms here and the clasp are from Bead Fest. I got them at the Lipstick Ranch booth, which I absolutely love. They have some great stuff. I mean, check out this little pendant piece. So it's got a little heart on the front, and then on the back it says free love. And it's really like heavy. I really like it. And then this one's like a little stamping. It's got a heart on it and it says against all odds. So I just wanted a simple necklace. So I put it together and I didn't have the tassel on it. And it really bugged me. Like it needed something else and I couldn't figure out what it was. And so this is one of the weird things that always happens to me. I always get my best ideas for projects in the middle of the night or like when I'm sleeping. So I had a dream that I saw a woman who had the exact same necklace, only hers had a tassel. So the next day I came to work and I had this tassel already made up and I added it to it and thought, yes, that's what it needed. But it didn't have the crystals on it. And so I just saw a piece of crystal laying around and glued it on, and lo and behold, this project was born. So that's what we're going to be making today. I've got a few tassels already made up so that we can play with a few different color combinations, but but we will make another tassel and I'll show you how to do it. These tassels are a little bit different to make than a traditional tassel, but it's still pretty basic and straightforward. I mean, you wrap the cord around a card and that's how you make your tassel. So that's what we'll do. I'm going to angle you down so you can see what I'm doing and we'll get to work. Yay. All right. Oh, and also look at my awesome leggings. You can't really see them. Look at, they've got flying skeletons on them. All right. Sorry for that. I'm really excited about them. Okay, so these are bead caps from, hi Debbie, thank you. So yeah, these are bead caps from TierraCast. These are the pagoda tassel cap or bead cap. And they have a loop on it already, and you can see they've got a nice thick groove in here, which is perfect for embellishing. And so I've got them made up, and you can see this, there's several different sizes of this type of bead cap, so you can really find a use for every type of project. These little guys are perfect just for a 2mm leather cord. So it's perfect just to make a finished necklace real quick. But that's too small for what we're doing today. So we'll go ahead and get started. So I've got just this is an old, oh, my sister's here. Hi, Emily. That's my baby sister. She's 15. So, okay, anyway, sorry for that distraction. So this is what you're going to need. You're going to need a business card or credit card, or this is just an old Shipwreck Beads gift card. We're going to use the largest size of the pagoda cap. And then I also have a little scrap of wire. Got my E6000 glue here. And I need a scrap piece of paper. Scrap piece of paper and some toothpicks. And then our leather cord. So this is a 3mm suede lace. Oh, my other sister's watching too. Hi, Harley. That's my sister Harley's 14. They're much younger than me. But I love them. All right. So you're going to need your suede lace. Hi. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to wrap, and you're going to wrap about 12 times. So it's 6 times total. 6 on each side equals 12 strands. 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then you're going to cut. So normally when you're making a regular tassel, you would tie it off. But because this is so thick, you can't put it into the tassel cap folded. So we're going to take it off. And I'm going to take my little scrap piece of wire and wrap it around the lace just to hold it all together so that it can free up my hands to work. Hi, Mary. And now we're going to cut the top. And so now we're going to trim because we want all of our ends. See how they're all uneven? We want them all to be even. So now they're all the same length. And we're just going to test to make sure they fit, because sometimes the leather can be different thicknesses. Like the black leather suede lace that I have here, it's a higher quality and it's thicker than this turquoise one that I have. So those will all fit. So we're going to go ahead and take that off of there, and we're going to fill it with glue. So this glue has a little bit of a larger opening, so it's not going to really fit down into the cap. So I'm just going to put a big dollop of glue on my scratch paper and use my toothpick to apply it to the inside of the cap. And you want to be careful. E6000 is kind of messy. You're just going to smear it all in. You want to make sure and get it all around the inside. So that you're going to cover all of the surface area. And you can even add a little bit to the top of the leather itself, just to make sure that it gets in and will secure it all together. And then you're just going to squish that all in there. And what I like to do too is just kind of twist the cap around to really make sure and get the glue down in like every little crevice. All right. And so then you can just clean up any strings that are left over, and then you can take the little piece of wire off. That's just to hold it together so that you can get it down in there. You know, when you're making a normal tassel with like thread or thinner cords like that, you don't need to do that. You don't need to cut the top. You can just shove the whole thing into the tassel cap. But for this, you need to, because it's such a thick material, you need to pre-cut it. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut the loops on the bottom of the tassel apart, and I'm just going to go ahead and trim the ends. This part can be kind of tricky because the ends like to curl up around. But they don't have to be completely even. So they do kind of curl up and around, and that's okay. Although not ideal. It will eventually, as you wear it and as it sort of hangs, it'll start to relax more, and so you'll lose some of that curl. But you see I still have that one little strand that wants to pop up, but I play with it all the time. Okay, so now we've got our tassels made. You can see how easy it was. I mean, really, you can just leave it just like this. Let's see. I'm going to bring up the video on my phone because I don't know if I'm getting, I see the little hearts coming across, but I don't know if. That's what happened to me last time I did a video. It froze up on me and I didn't get to see any of your comments. So we'll see what's going on here. I didn't get to see any of your comments. Turn that down. Okay. So we've got our tassels made. And I just use the two biggest caps because that's what works best for, hi Kelsey, or hi Tracy. I was saying hello to myself. I'm glad you could join us. Look, I'm using your guys' caps. Okay, so I've got just some scraps of cup chain that I had lying around. You can really use any size cup chain for this. and you really only need about an inch to do it. So you don't need a whole lot. So this is a great way to use up those scraps that you can't bear to throw away, but you can't really find a use for either. So this is a good way to sort of use those up. So I'm just gonna lay my scraps out. I'm really excited to use this one. So this is the really small cup chain. I think this is the, I don't know what the actual measurement is, but it's the 72 RH on our website. And I will go ahead and post the links when we're done. But I really want to use this because you can actually double this one up. So you can see it doubles up really nicely. Yeah. All right. So now we're going to need more glue. And really is helpful to add your glue to your entire cap first. Normally you want to add a little bit of glue, put your cord or put whatever you're doing down, then add a little bit more glue because you don't want your glue to dry as you're working. But for this, you really need to have glue around the whole thing. So I'm going to go ahead, where are my cutters? Go ahead and cut this chain in half. And I'm going to apply glue to the inside gap here, whatever you want to call it. And you just need a pretty thin layer, and it's really hard not to do this in a messy way. Like, it's not a very clean process, but it turns out pretty cool. You're just going to smear the glue in there, and you're going to press the cup chain down into the glue. So when you're doing this, you want to make sure and push the cup chain together because you don't want to see the gaps in the chain. You want to take up all the space. So you're just going to push it as close together as that chain will go. And then once you get to the point where the chain meets, you're just going to trim it. You don't want that to overlap at all. Let's see. And you're just gonna press it down into the glue, make sure it's nice and secure on there. Oh, I think I need to take one more of those links off. Keep that toothpick handy in case you need to add extra glue on there. And the great thing about E6000 is it doesn't dry very fast, so you do have a lot of working time. Yeah, it does dry clear and it holds really well. It's my favorite glue to use, although it is a little bit messy. It's got a much thicker consistency than, you know, like super glue. And whenever you're using crystals, you don't want to use super glue because the vapors can cause your crystals to get cloudy. So you don't want to use super glue with this. You want to make sure and use like a glue like E6000. You could use ice resin or some sort of clear drying adhesive like that, like a 2-part epoxy type glue would work really well. All right, so then you just set that to dry, and now you've got a really cute embellished tassel cap. I really like that. Hi Pam, thanks for joining us. Yeah, this is a really fun cup chain. It's well, I only have a little bit of it left, but it's got like 4 or 5 different colors of crystals, and so it's just really cool. And I really like that color combination. So it's got like amethyst and like a very light blush rose, coral, and turquoise, and then a aqua crystal. So it's really nice. And so the small crystals, the 72 RHs on our website, they'll fit 2 rows into the cap. Some of the larger cup chain, you're only going to be able to fit once. So we'll go ahead and take this larger one. This is I think it's a 74 or 75. I think this is like an SS16 size crystal. Making hair barrettes. Yeah, E6000 gets all over everywhere. But yeah, so with the larger cup chain, you can only fit it in once. And the hardest part that I found with that is trying to get it even. So it was a little hard to see what I was talking about when I meant you want to press your crystals close together. But the crystals on the cup chain are very flexible. And so they've got this little bar in the center. So you want to make sure when you're applying it, when you're putting it onto your cap, that you push them together so that you don't have that as big of gap in there. So we'll go ahead and do another one. I'm going to put some more glue on my little scrap of paper. E6000, it does dry pretty quick, but it's not a super fast drying glue, so it does give you some work time. But it's a good idea just to put a little dollop on your paper, and don't leave it open because it'll ooze out of the tube. So you just want to put a little bit out on your paper to work with. And then you're just going to, again, smear it into that little gap there. Now, depending on the size of your cup chain, you do want to be a little bit neater about this, especially if you're making jewelry to sell, because you don't want to have to see like globs of glue on your project. But I generally just make stuff for myself or to give to other people, so I'm not usually too worried about that. And then with the bigger crystals, you're going to want to add a little bit of glue in between them to sort of glue those two together and make sure they stay connected and don't have a gap there. So now what you're going to do is you're going to want to make sure, see how it's not perfectly centered? So you just need to kind of press it with your fingers until you get it centered in a way that you like. And you will have a little bit of time to work. Like I said, it's not the fastest drying glue, so you will have some work time there. You do want to give it about 72 hours to dry, but I will say that with this one that I made initially, I think I let it dry for like 20 minutes before I put it on my necklace, and it's held up just fine. So that shows you how good E6000 is. All right, so that's how that looks with the really big crystals. You can see it does stick out kind of a little bit, but it's just a really nice focal piece. And then you can do, if you want to attach it, you can use a jump ring, or you can just do some wire wrapping like I did here on this one. So I've got some more cup chain out here, so we'll do some more color combinations. Let's see, what should we do? We'll do a copper one, just like the one that I have on here already. So now this one's a slightly smaller cup chain, so when you're using a smaller one, you want to be a little bit more precise with the positioning of your glue, just to make sure that it's not messy and that you don't see it. Oh, so I've got news. I know some of you want to see more live videos, and so that's what we're working on doing, and I'm going to start streaming on Twitch. How many of you have heard of Twitch? If you haven't, I'm not too shocked, but if you have, it's a really cool social media platform. It's actually was initially for gaming, but they recently launched a creative section, so you can log on to see artists live streaming projects and things like that. So I'm going to be filming live on Twitch. It's going to be a little bit different format than these Facebook videos because they are much longer, but that will be a good place to catch more fun projects. Yeah, I'm not surprised, Lacey. Unless you're a gamer, you probably haven't heard of it. So really what it started out as was for gamers to live stream as they're gaming, and then you can see them talk, and then other people can go on chat and talk with them too. It's kind of a weird thing, but again, they just did their creative section. So we're going to start doing some live videos on there. So I'm just messing around right now trying to get these straight on here because there's a much bigger gap. It's harder to get it lined up. Yeah, I think there's a Twitch app. I haven't, I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's a Twitch app. And you should be able to watch streamers on there. And so I think right now I'm going to be definitely doing streaming on Thursdays. I did my first stream yesterday, just sort of a test stream, and I did some looming on the Rick's beading loom. So I'm going to try and do some longer projects on the Twitch live stream, just because it's going to be longer platform than these live Facebook videos. I try to keep these live Facebook videos around a half hour because I know we're all busy people. We've got stuff to do and lives and families and things like that. So I try and keep these a little on the shorter side, but live streaming on Twitch is going to be much, much more dedicated and longer projects. So I will make sure to let you guys know on Facebook and on Twitter and when I do go live on Twitch, and we'll probably be having some other talented Shipwreck employees tuning in also. Yes, it will be available on Twitch. So the stream I did yesterday, unfortunately, didn't save to the page, so that one is not available to watch. But yeah, Carla, they will be available on the Twitch page to watch later on if you want to do that. All right, so there's that one. So I think I'm gonna do one more here. I like this black one. Use the big crystals again. So you can see it's real quick to just whip up a few of these. They make really good purse charms, pendants, you know, little bobs on a necklace. You can even put them on, you know, a bracelet if you have a shorter tassel. I know I don't really like to have long things hanging off of bracelets just because they get in the way. But yeah, I'm real excited about Twitch. It'll be a great way to share some longer projects and some more in-depth, fun kind of stuff. Not to get it all over my hands here. So see, it really doesn't take much cup chain at all. So again, this is perfect for those scraps of chain that you might have. Again, like I have a hard time throwing anything away, but I think I can maybe use it later. So I always save those little bits and ends. And so this is a great way to use those up. Super sparkly, super fun. Like this first one that I did is already pretty dry, so I would be comfortable putting this on something right now. And actually I'll grab some wire so I can show you how to do the wrapping. Alright, so this is just a 20 gauge wire. I'm going to pull off about whatever this is. I don't know how big that is. And you're going to need round nose pliers. So I'm going to start my loop on the very base of the plier to make a really big loop there. And I'm going to feed on my cap. Now you can just attach these with jump rings. Oh no! I didn't put enough glue on my tassel. My tassel fell apart. All right, well, I'm gonna finish this wrap and then we're gonna fix that. All right, that's the magic of live video. All right, so you're going to put your loop on, and I like to use a wrapped loop bail, kind of like I'm gonna make here, just because it's more secure. And these tassels are so heavy that with the jump rings, I feel like they don't necessarily hold it as well. If you were to catch it on something, it could fall apart pretty easily. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna grasp right below that bend. You're gonna start wrapping. I should have bent that up there. So I'm just gonna do like a messy wrap here. Now you can, if you want, like put a bead on there or something to further embellish it, but let's see if I've got something here to use. Here, I'll just use this guy. Oh, hugs to you, cat. And just put a bead on here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab it with my pliers and put a little 90-degree bend in. Then I'm gonna rotate my pliers up, and I'm gonna want this to be a bigger loop, so I'm gonna grasp it near the end. Go around. I'm gonna take my pliers out and reposition them on the outside of my loop. Then I'm gonna wrap it around here. Oop. And then just as a fun little thing, I'm gonna do a little spiral around the outside of the bead. So I'm just going to wrap that around the bead, like so. And then wrap it around underneath the bead to secure it. That's just a fun little extra detail that you can add. And then I'm going to fix this tassel that fell apart on me. All right, let's fix that. So what are we going to do first? So I'm going to line all these up and then secure it with my little scrap of wire. It's not the end of the world. Could be worse. I could have given it to somebody and then it could have fallen apart. That's always so tragic. So I think why this one fell apart though is because I used a different glue on this one, because I was just testing out a different type of glue on it to see what I like to use better, and didn't work quite as well as I wanted. So again, I'm just securing it with a piece of scrap wire because I need all these ends to stay together. And now I'm going to put my E6000 on my scrap of paper. And I'm going to put it inside my tassel cap. Again, you really want to smear it around the sides of the tassel, or sides of the cap, and into the bottom. And then again, what I like to do is put a little bit of glue on the leather itself. Just to make sure that all the surfaces get covered, so that we don't have any more embarrassing tassel mishaps. All right. Squish that around and really get the glue all over. There. All right. So we'll just let that dry before I start to mess with it anymore. But you can see how really quickly you can make a really cute little pendant or purse charm or keychain or really whatever you want. And you can see how easy that is to embellish. And you know, you can always just leave it plain, but why would you not want to add a little bit of sparkle? Take some sparkle wherever you go. So there you have it. Got our different tassel caps here. Very pretty and sparkly and fun. What do you guys think? Love it, hate it, yay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and angle you back up. Hello. All right, so we have got Halloween this week, or on Monday. I'm gonna do a special live video on Monday because we do a really great Halloween costume contest with all the employees here at Shipwreck. And it's super fun, and we all dress up, and the winner of the costume contest gets a $50 gift card. I think we're still doing that this year. Maybe I spoke too soon. But anyways, we'll be dressing up, and so I'm going to do a live video on Monday to show you our costumes. So I hope you all have fun this weekend. If you have any Halloween festivities, have fun and stay safe. And I will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.